Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sejahtera. Salam UiTM Dihatiku. Yang berusaha Puan Maizura binti Haji Mansur, Ketua Pusat Pengajian Fakulti Komunikasi dan Pengajian Media UiTM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan, Kampus Rembau. Cik Effina binti Hamdan, Koordinator MC110 Fakulti Komunikasi dan Pengajian Media UiTM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan, Kampus Rembau. Encik Syahril Anwar bin Abdul Galim, Koordinator MC243 Fakulti Komunikasi dan Pengajian Media UiTM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan, Kampus Rembau. Yang dihormati para pensyarah Fakulti Komunikasi dan Pengajian Media serta para pelajar yang dikasihi sekalian. Izinkan saya berucap di dalam bahasa Inggeris. Hai. Hai Maira, Hadira, Iman, Syafira, Sharifah. There are a lot of people. Oh, Shauki. Firstly, I would like to welcome everyone to today's live call, Music and Mind Connection Talk. We truly appreciate everyone's presence in this lovely evening. So my name is Muhammad Iqbal Haras and I will be your moderator for today's event. Before we go any further, I would like to invite my friend Amirul Aiman to recite the doa to bless the event today.
A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma innaka khalaqul azim, innaka samiun alim, innaka ghafurur rahim, innaka rabbul arsyil azim, innakal barul jawadul karim. Allahumma ya karimu ya rahim, ya fa'alu lima yurid. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, amin ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you to Al-Fadil, Al-Ustad, Amirul Aiman, Al-Qafisu, Al-Zusi for the recitation doa just now. In every event, there is always a mentor that will guide us throughout the process. And our team is blessed with our lecturer, Miss Siti Fazila, or we call Miss Ila. With a great respect, we invite our project advisor to give her opening speech. The stage is all yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam UiTM Dihatiku. Yang saya hormati barisan panel jemputan, barisan pengurusan dalaman UiTM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan Kampus Rembau, yang saya raikan rakan-rakan pensyarah, yang saya kasihi para pelajar serta semua penonton program Music and Mind Connection Talk pada malam ini. Pertama sekali, saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada semua penonton yang sudi meluangkan masa bersama-sama kami pada malam ini. Seterusnya, saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih dan jutaan penghargaan kepada panel yang sangat hebat pada malam ini. Siapakah mereka? Kita akan bersama mereka sebentar saja lagi. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang saya hormati sekalian, muzik bukanlah satu perkara yang asing bagi kita pada masa ini. Kita boleh mendengar muzik di mana-mana saja. Rata-rata masyarakat melihat muzik sebagai satu bentuk hiburan, malah ada yang menjadikan sebagai peluang kerjaya apabila memiliki suara yang merdu dan boleh bermain alat muzik, dan seterusnya menceburi bidang industri hiburan. Namun, tahukah anda, muzik juga memiliki satu fungsi yang sangat baik, iaitu sebagai terapi kepada jiwa dan juga mental. Bagaimana? Kita akan mendengar perkongsian bersama panel jemputan kita sebentar lagi. Justru saya ingin memuji usaha para pelajar MC1105C yang telah membawakan idea dan bertugas lumus semenjak minggu ketiga lagi untuk menjayakan program ini. Justru saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada ketua projek iaitu Faris dan juga penolong ketua projek Puteri yang bersama-sama dengan semua biro yang menjayakan program ini dengan objektif untuk memberi kesedaran kepada semua masyarakat tentang terapi muzik. Saya harap pengalaman yang dimiliki semasa pelaksanaan dan penganjuran program ini akan diguna pada masa-masa akan datang dan seterusnya memberi impak kepada semua yang terlibat secara langsung dan tidak langsung. Saya percaya program ini mampu memberi kesan yang sangat hebat kepada komuniti di dalam dan juga luar UiTM. Dengan itu, saya mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih sekali lagi kepada semua. Semoga semuanya berjalan lancar. Tahniah kepada pihak penganjur di atas penganjuran program yang sangat bermanfaat ini, insya-Allah. Sekian daripada saya. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Miss Ila, for a very inspirational speech. Wow, Razin mother also see Puan Zainab. Hi. You guys also don't forget to invite your mak-mak to see this program. And don't forget to tag Solace if you guys macam upload everything about this event on the Insta or Twitter. Okay, now about today's event. As we know, music and sound is a part of human life. We as a human can't run for the music even if we hate it. Every person have their own music genre that they feel interested, such as rock, jazz, ballad, hip hop, and pop. However, did you know that music also can be used as a therapy? I remember several years before, I see a Malay drama when Mira Filza playing guitar for her coma husband. and I see a lot of Malaysian netizens bashing her. They say that scene was very stupid, unlogical, but I feel curious and I start to read several articles and I found out that music really can be as a therapy. If you see in the history, during the reign of Ottoman Empire at Turkey, Sultan Bayezid II had ordered to build the hospital that used music as a form of therapy in healing. I'm sorry about my history lecture. I look so nerd today. Okay, the aim for today's event is about how music therapy can be a form of self-healing. So to get know about music therapy, we have invited two great and very talented panels. First, Miss Ivy Tan, a Malaysian music therapist based in Johor, and Miss Cody, Malaysia songwriter and singer. And this session will host by my friend and a group leader, Ahmad Faris Abashah. So let's watch a video first.
Hi everyone, my name is Ivy and I'm a board-certified music therapist and a founder of Live Tunes.
Graduate from Berklee College of Music with a music therapy major and psychology minor. 3 years of working experience in Los Angeles, United States of America at government-funded organization. Ivy was working closely with pediatric palliative care and patients and their families as well as older in a rearing home to promote quality of life as well as provide comfort and care. Currently based in Johor Bahru, Ivy worked with various organizations and university to provide music therapy workshop and training. With a passion in education, Ivy has created a creative music therapy content on her social media platform to spread the knowledge and awareness regarding music therapy. Above all, Ivy is strongly believe of hope and wish to empower her client to thrive in both emotional and physical well-being through the power of music.
Welcome to Live Tunes, my name is Ivy. I'm a music therapist and a founder of Live Tunes. I'm so glad that you are here. Live Tunes is an establishment that provides music therapy services in the Klang Valley in Malaysia. We work with various populations and thrive to see an improved quality of lives in our clients. So I'm not sure if you've heard of what music therapy is, because what I'm about to say is going to change how you view music in a whole new way.
To know more, you guys can follow Live Tunes' official Instagram account and on their official website. For podcast lover, you guys could also check out Live Tunes Talk podcast channel on Spotify and on their official YouTube channel. Sri Khadijah Kamarul Bahrin, or more known as Cody, is a 20 years old singer-songwriter under Sony Music Malaysia. Cody began to achieve commercial success with her debut single Ke Mana in 2019.
Aku merantau, ku bawa diri dan hati yang tak pasti, jiwa meracau.
In 2021, she had released 2 singles which are Lenggang on February 2021 and Dia Bagiku on April 2021. This song is one of the official soundtrack for Single Terlalu Lama drama that was played on TV3. You guys can check out Cody's YouTube channel to listen to her songs and cover. And follow her on her Instagram to know more about her life and career growth.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Music and Mind Connection Talk. Hi, Miss Ivy. Hi, Miss Cody. How are you guys doing?
Hi, Faris. I'm doing well.
Hello. Thank you so much for having
Hi.
me. I'm excited.
I'm also very excited for this talk. Okay, it's been in the planning for a very long time. So tonight we're going to have the best sharing session of the year. Even though it's just 6 days into 2022, we will set the benchmark very high for today's live talk. All right. So first and
Yes.
foremost, we would like to give our biggest gratitude to Miss Ivy and also to Miss Cody for joining our event today. We really appreciate your time and effort because we really want to spread awareness about music therapy and to have very amazing panels today. I would say it's such a blessing for us, for me and my team. Okay, so I see that everyone is very excited. The comments are going crazy right now. Okay, so Myra said hi Cody. That
Hello.
was from Myra, and Natasha said hi Miss Ivy and Miss Cody. So I think everyone is really excited. Okay, I'm also very excited. So before we start going into the questions, let's break the ice a little bit. Okay, so to Miss Ivy, how are you feeling today, and are you excited for this talk?
I am. I'm really excited for this talk. Like Cody. I'm so honored to be here. So thank you so much again, Faris and the rest of the team for putting this together. It's such an amazing to see. How just so much of excellency in this team. So just want to just put it out there, and I'm feeling really excited about this, and I believe that we will have a lot of fun, and we'll be having a lot of good discussions. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. Okay, so for Miss Cody, I'm guessing music is a very big part of your life. Okay, we've seen the video just now. Your songs are very catchy. Okay, I enjoy listening to it. Okay,
Thank you so
so
much.
how do you feel about music as a form of self healing in your own personal words?
Wow. When I got invited to do this, I was actually really excited because I know about music therapy, but I know that it's not talked about so much. And I would love to know more with Miss Ivy tonight. And I just can't wait to share my perspective on music and how it heals me, even if I'm not a music therapist or whatever. But I am so excited to know what Miss Ivy has to say as well. So,
Yes.
yay!
Yeah, okay. I guess everyone right now is on the same page. I think we keep the energy going, okay, up until the very last minutes of this event. All right. So before we get into the first question, I would like to remind the audience that if you guys have anything you might want to ask to Miss Ivy and Miss Cody, feel free to put it down in the chat box. And later on during the Q&A session, we will put your questions up onto screen, and then we will answer them together. Okay, so let's not waste any more time. Okay, so let's go into the first question, which is for Miss Ivy. Okay,
Yes.
so Miss Ivy, as a member of Malaysian Music Therapy Association, MMTA, and also Live Tunes Music Therapy, can you introduce us a little bit about music therapy? Because I think some of us might not know what music therapy is, what MMTA is, and also what Live Tunes is. So, can you give us a little bit of an introduction about it?
Yes, of course. Um, so first of all, music therapy, before I jump into music therapy, actually, MMTA is our official Malaysian music therapy association. So yes, we do have a music therapy association in Malaysia, and we actually just celebrated our 5th anniversary last year. And so amazing. And yeah, and I just a little bit background about Live Tunes. It's a
private practice that I started just last year after coming back to from the US, and so I decided that I want to, bring back what I've learned, the experiences and all the knowledge and everything, and to, give back to the community here in Malaysia. So yeah, and as for music therapy, right? So I think a lot of people here, you might have heard of music therapy, or you might not have heard of music therapy, or whatever that is. I hope that tonight will be, you will walk away with a greater understanding of it. So I think what this question is, right, Faris, it's actually a really hard question for any music therapist to ask, what music therapy is, because we find it really hard to articulate, accurately on what exactly music therapy is, because your experience of music therapy is very different from my experience of music therapy is. But I would love to actually share like a little backstory on the history of music therapy, which I find really interesting. So music therapy actually started, after World War II in America. So what happened was, there were wars, and there were veterans, they were fighting and all of that. They are like injured, have trauma physically and like emotionally, right? It's bad, and it's huge, it's traumatic. So what happened was, there are like a group of musicians, community musicians, they went to the hospitals, veteran hospitals around the country. So they were going there and just playing live music to them, which I find is really interesting. And then the most interesting thing is that there was a positive impact, that could be seen, that by music on both physical and emotional, and the doctors and nurses was like, oh my gosh, it is like a huge impact on this recovery, and they see like the effects of it, and gradually having a lot of increase of demand after that. So they soon realized that, these musicians actually need clinical training to before, entering these facilities. And so that was how actually music therapy program and curriculum, the profession actually officially started.
Yeah, I see. Because it's very interesting because, for example, we use the World War II, right, if I'm not mistaken, and the soldiers, they come back from wars with very emotional trauma, because they have to do things that you know they don't want to do, but they have to do for the sake of their country, for the sake of their family. And when you put music into the perspective, and it actually worked and helped them heal, it's
Yeah.
just amazing. Okay, for Miss Cody, can you imagine like one of your songs? I think you must be very proud, because like I'm pretty sure that out there, any person, like when they listen to your song, they will feel happy, they will feel calm. So what does that
Yeah.
make you feel? How is your reaction to that?
It makes me feel grateful and content to be able to give off a positive energy and to give off a good vibe. Sometimes we can't express how we feel well. So I think through music, through lyrics, this is our sweet escape. Yeah, that's how I
Yeah,
feel.
I totally agree. Personally, for myself also, I do use music as my sweet escape. Okay, but it depends on the situation. If I'm exercising, I want to push my motivation. I listen to very upbeat songs. Okay,
Mhm.
because it's about drive, it's about power. The Rock said in his song. Okay, so moving on to our second question. For Miss Ivy as well. Okay, so as we can see, based on my observation, music therapy could still be considered as a new type of therapy in Malaysia, especially because it's very new, 5 years into the scene. And I'm just very curious, like, what made you become a music therapist in the first place? What gets you out of your bed every single morning and says like, I'm going to be a music therapy today, I'm going to help people. So what pushes you?
Yeah, I think since young I just have this love and passion for music, and I have also I really love the medical field as well, and I love psychology. So when I actually was going to college and was going to Berkeley. Actually, I was applying for Berkeley, and then music therapy was one of the majors, in Berkeley. And that was the first time that I found out about music therapy, and I was like, oh, this is like the best of both worlds. And I think just seeing like both of your passions combined, and seeing that you actually make an impact in someone's life, and it's such a rewarding career. It's such a rewarding thing that that you are putting into you're just sowing, you're investing into a person's life in their recovery journey, whatever that looks like. So I count it as my absolute honor and privilege to be a music therapist. And honestly, I really love it. And when you love something, you don't see it as a job, as a chore. So yeah.
I think it's like when you put your passion, passion like over profit. I think that's when we can actually do our job sincerely and just have fun at the same time. So I guess music therapy is a blessing for you, Miss Ivy, because you love helping people. You love psychology and also you love music, and the world just gives you music therapy. Voila, there you go. That's that's that's
Yeah.
that's for you. Okay. So we're moving on to the next question, and it's for Miss Cody. Okay. So Miss
Yeah.
Cody, you made your debut as a singer in 2019 with your first single Kemana. Okay, so let's throw back to the very start, the very beginning. Okay, so how did you actually start to get involved in the music industry? I think everyone is very curious about that.
So I started performing at live shows, live gigs when I was like 12 years old. I barely knew what I was doing, but I knew that I like what I'm doing. I like performing. I like singing. So along the way, I've learned so much about myself and my capabilities. And Alhamdulillah, now I sing professionally. So, okay, I want to share something. Beyonce once said, like, she has an alter ego on stage. And to me, I feel like I can totally relate to that because performing and music, it has become my safe space to express myself on another level. And it's not just performing, it could be about songwriting or just simply playing the piano. I've learned to express myself better when I'm creating my art. So to me, music, sound, it's really a safe space. Yeah.
That's amazing. Like when you get on stage and doing live shows, you become a totally different person. And I
Yes.
think and I think that's I think we all can relate to that. When we are doing something that we love, when for example like me, I love playing futsal. So like when I play futsal, I become like the best player. I become a totally different person because when you do something you love, you get into the scene of it and you get into the moment. You're just mesmerized, regardless if it's something big or small. And then I think it's
Yeah.
also really interesting that singers, each and every singers, they have their own um background story. Every single singer is different, and it's just amazing to see and very inspiring to see those singers like actually start from the very beginning up until to where they are right now. Because like me, I have a friend. Okay, I have a close friend. He started his singing when he was I think in standard 5 or standard 6. He joined a singing competition called Idola Kecil when he was little, and right now I look at him and he's just amazing. He sings a lot. He really entertains people, and he just have the best time of his life regarding wherever he is and whatever he is doing. All right. So, to Miss Cody as well. I think personally for me, you said just now you played the piano, right? So, like, do
Yeah.
you have any other instruments that you play, or like any other things that you might like to try in the future?
I'm good at the piano. I'm like learning the guitar now. But yeah, it's kind of hard for me to perform and play as well. But I would love to learn how to play the drums or anything else. I always like to challenge myself in learning something new. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun to learn.
Yes, I totally agree. Ever since I was young, I wanted to play a musical instrument because my mother, she plays the piano. But at my house we don't have any piano, so like the only time I get to hear her play the piano is when we balik kampung at Ipoh. So there's a piano at my atok's house, and she plays the piano so beautifully there. And I don't know, 20 years of living, I still haven't anything about the piano. So maybe one day, I will get to learn how to play the piano properly. How about
There's
you,
always
Ivy?
time to learn.
Yes, agree.
Mhm.
Yes. There's always time to learn new things and try out different things and just get out of our comfort zone. Okay. How about for Miss Ivy? Do you play any other instruments? We've seen you play the guitar just now in the video, and
Yes.
personally for me that was amazing. Okay, because
Oh, thank
because
you.
I can't do that. Okay, so when I see people do something that I can't, and it's just really amazing. So do you play any other different instruments apart from the guitar?
Yeah, I actually my principal instrument is actually piano. I only started picking up guitar when I enter this music therapy major, because we actually mainly use guitar in our sessions, just for logistics reasons. You cannot really bring like keyboard around, to the hospitals, to people's homes. It's too heavy. But guitar, it's good for bedside, it's good for just traveling around. So yeah.
Yes. I totally agree because I did not think that, when you said in terms of logistics, I totally forgot that you have to go from house to house. So I was already thinking in my
Yes.
mind, oh, probably you have your drums, you have your keyboards and everything that you might want to bring around. So yeah, it's
Yes.
a really good eye opener. So speaking about musical instruments, Miss Ivy,
Mhm.
um, in music therapy, what is the type of music or sounds that can be used for music therapy? I mean, like, is there any specific melodies or any specific instruments that music therapists use, or it's just a free for all?
Mhm. I think that's a really good question. Um, so I think in music therapy, there isn't like any one song or one melody or like one genre like that fits all. Because like I always like to tell people that everyone's different, everyone's unique. Your musical background, your preference, your history is different from Cody, different from mine. So everyone is unique, everyone has different preferences. So in music therapy sessions, we like to cater to that need as well. So we instead of like using one song fits all, that kind of thing, but we actually really go to go down towards the client preferred song. Is there a preferred style of music? Is there a preferred style, a genre for that person? And a preferred style of music actually goes a long way. When you're comfortable with something, when you like something, it creates a very safe space for that person. Like Cody said, how she feels safe to express herself. And absolutely, that's our goal in music therapy as well. And so also, and that we also always go back to what kind of goals that we are working with the client. And so for example, if I have this client that is having this anxiety, right? He's anxious, and so probably I would not and we're working on something like to teach him how to do a relaxation activity at home, as a part of like self-care routine. So obviously I would probably not opt for something like rock or like upbeat music, to help him to relax. So something maybe more soothing, a slower tempo to begin with. And so yeah, it really depends on the goals, what we're working on. If it's like a person that wants to work on like their physical, their motor skills, so we would actually use like a faster tempo song, to match with the level of energy, to motivate that person to work on certain muscles, certain motor skills, simultaneously in the session. So yeah.
So I think it's like really important that you get to know each other first, right? With the person that you're trying to help. So like, do
Yes.
you do any like ice breaking sessions, or like how do you engage during the first session with the person? Because it might be very hard for the person to like speak out about their problems, because it's
Mm.
very understandable that some people are afraid to share their feelings. So Like, how do you usually start the conversation or break the ice with the people that you're trying to help?
Yeah, usually our first session is an assessment session. So like any other therapies, we would do an assessment to know the clients like needs, their what they need to work on, for to achieve that success in therapy, right? And so I think in music therapy, the word music explains it all. We actually do the assessment through music. So it's honestly, I personally think it's very fun because music is very non-invasive. So even if I don't know you personally, I met you for the first time, like, but as we make music together, there's a bond. I get to know you through music, and there is definitely no judgment. It's a very safe space for you to express. So we actually use that session through like different instruments. We have like different types of drums, we have different types of like bells or like percussions or different types of instruments, or down to like different types of interventions. We even can do like songwriting with our clients, or like just different stuff to assess their level, to assess their needs, and to get to know them better, to build that trust and bond in the therapy. So yeah, that's all within a therapeutic relationship in music therapy.
I see. So like whenever there's a session, there's always a process, right? You don't
Mm-hmm.
like, it's not just straight away you get to know your the people that are trying to help and everything. It takes time, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's still fun. So for like
Yes.
Miss Cody, whenever you write a song, right? Do you like have a specific target audience, or that stuff isn't relevant in terms of songwriting, and it's just more about how you feel and what you want to express?
Yeah, for me, there's no specific audience. It's always how I feel in that sense, and like what type of music, what type of beat, what type of genre am I bringing into. So yeah, it's mostly self-expression. If I feel sad today, I'll write a sad song. If I feel so happy tomorrow, it's all about joy. So yeah, there's no specific way to say, oh, you gotta write a song like this. No, 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 it does not work for me. Yeah.
And I think that's amazing because that is what makes your song very genuine and authentic. So like whenever we listen to it, it's not we listen to the song, we listen to Cody's song. You know
No,
what I
that's
mean?
nice. Yeah.
So like I think a lot of artists right now, they express themselves through music, and it's more like it's like storytelling. You know how they
Yeah.
feel. Like
Mm.
Taylor Swift, she usually writes songs about heartbreak, and we can see that from her lyrics and from her melodies. So different artists, they have different approaches on how they write their songs, and I think that's really important for listeners to hear because we want to know about the singer themselves. So I
Mm.
think yeah, it's really good. Okay, so I have a question for the both of you. All right. Besides seeing music as your career opportunity, for like Miss Cody, you use music because you are a singer. Miss Ivy, you use music because you're a music therapist. How does music give positive impacts towards your own self? That's what I would want to know. So let's start with Miss Cody. Would you like to answer first?
How does music impact me in a positive way? Wow. I think since I was young, I'm brought up in a family that, we appreciate music. We're music appreciators here. And I would listen to so many genres, so many types of songs. And from there, music music is personal to me. Like every song has its own meaning. Like let's say if I think about this song, it will take me back to this situation. So I guess overall, it just completes my daily life, because when I'm at home, I'll be listening to music. When I'm in the car, I'll be listening to music. So it's like how do I say, peneman, like a
Mm.
dear friend to me. Since let's say if I'm alone at 3 a.m. and I feel upset or whatever, I wouldn't go to anyone, but I will fall back to music 100%. I will put on like some sad song and just like, yep, this is it for tonight. So yeah, I feel like it just doesn't make me happy. It makes me feel every single emotion that it's hard for me to explain to a person. Yeah.
Yeah, just by listening to your explanation, I could already see like how music is very impactful towards your life. And it's good to see music listeners have that passion for music. And because the stigma right now is like some people they judge some people other people for not listening to what's in trend. And I think
Mhm.
that's not like macam tak best lah macam tu. It's like orang dengar lagu ni you nak judge and everything, and I don't think it's correct lah that way. Okay, so for Miss Ivy, how does music impact you in the positive way?
I think very similarly, I think music provides a very safe space for me, and that whenever I think of music, it just it validates my emotions. Like words sometimes you can just hardly there's this quote say that when words fail, music speaks, and I just find that it's so true. Sometimes you're like, I don't know how to express it with words, but you can, like, when you listen to a song, like it's like, oh yeah, exactly that kind of feel. And so I think it brings a lot of validation, and it speaks directly to your heart. Like it brings connection, and I love like how it brings unity as well. Like it doesn't you don't need words to communicate with music. You can absolutely use music to communicate with someone who does not speak your language or from your culture. So I think that's one thing that I really love about music. And like what Cody said about like how music just triggers like brings up memories, good or bad. Certain songs brings you memories, and I feel like even after being a music therapist, there will be like certain songs that reminds me of like certain patients. And I think it's safe to say that a lot of therapists would say the same thing, like, this patient have such a special place in my heart, and when I listen to this song, it brings me back to that memory and stuff like that. So yeah.
It's amazing to hear that how music can actually bring back good memories, especially your time with the patient, because you help them a lot. And when you listen to that music, like after a few years, you are taken back to that moment, and I think that's just wonderful and beautiful at the same time. So just now you mentioned about unity and culture. So like in my own perspective, music back in the days, do you guys know the band Queen? Right, band Queen, right? And I
Yes.
still remember Queen, I don't know why, but their songs up until today is like still listened to, even though that songs were created back in the olden days. I wasn't even born yet at that time, and somehow I find myself listening to Michael Jackson, ABBA,
Mm.
Queens, and many many more. I think it's probably the influence from my mother. I don't know. So and you said about unity. Right now we look at the music industry, K-pop. I don't understand a single thing when I listen to K-pop, but I can sing the lyrics, but I don't understand what it means. So I think is that is very brilliant. Because that goes to show that we don't have to be speaking the same language to like be vibing at the same time. It's like if we vibe to the melody, then we vibe, and I think
Mhm.
that's very amazing. Okay. So this is a personal question for me as well. Okay, so to Miss Ivy and Miss Cody, can you give me and the audience one song that is very close to your heart? You can choose your own song if you want. I mean, like it's okay. And one song that is close to your heart and the reason why. Mm. So let's start with Miss Ivy.
Yo, this is so hard.
Right?
I know.
um,
Even for me, this question I have a lot of answers. So yeah, you guys have to give me one only.
wow. Um, wow, this is really harder than I thought.
I'm so sorry.
I
I didn't.
think
I didn't think it would be this. Seriously, I'm so sorry.
it's okay, it's okay. But the first song that came into my mind was this very simple song, "You Are My Sunshine," and the reason being is that this is a song that is like widely being used, like in um any music therapy sessions, and I think the reason why I picked this song is because like it really brings back a lot of memories on like just different patients that I work with, and specific memories and just that different emotions and all of that. And I feel like if there's one song that that could really represent my career in music therapy, I think this would be one of the songs that yeah, it's not so much about like, oh, I love this song, but it's because of like just the memories being associated with it, and the memories that has brought me joy, the honor, the privilege, and all of that. So yeah, I guess I would choose this song.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So the song that is close to your heart is "You Are My Sunshine."
Yes.
Okay, I think if you wouldn't mind, could you like please belanja us sikit of the song? Can you try like sing a little bit?
Yes.
I think everyone would like to hear this. Just a little bit, if it's okay with you.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so ready everyone in the audience? Okay, so whenever you are ready.
Okay. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Ivy, for that.
Thank you.
Yay!
And I hope that you keep on singing that song until forever, because that song means, I really believe it means a lot to you. All right. So for Miss Cody, what is that one song that is close to your heart?
It's impossible to choose one song, but for me, I'm sorry, Lavaris, I cannot.
Tak apa.
It's so hard. But
It's so hard.
if it's a band, if it's an album, then I would say Coldplay. Yeah. And one of my favorite albums from Coldplay is Viva La Vida, because I remember when I was younger, my brother, I think, he bought the album. And then we would night his kancil and go ronde just because we want to listen to the whole album. So like that album, Coldplay has a very special place in my heart. And I can't sing the whole album.
One song lah, one song can lah, one song.
Okay, but this song is not from the album, but I think everyone knows this song. When you try your best, but you don't succeed. When you get what you want, but not what you need. When you feel so tired that you can't sleep. Stuck in reverse. Wait, let's just go to the chorus.
Let's go.
Light will guide you home and ignite your bones. Come on, Paris. Come on.
And I will try to fix you.
Yay!
Yeah, I feel like Coldplay makes some of the best songs.
I totally agree.
I agree.
Because when I was young as well, macam tua sangat je. when I was young as well, my auntie, she would always pick me up from school, and she would blast those 2000 songs. You know, Avril Lavigne, Coldplay, Maroon 5. Those are my jams. Yeah. So like amongst my group of friends, I'm like the only one listening to that song. So like bangga sikit lah. Yes. Okay, so Miss Ivy already given us her song. Miss Cody has given her her song of choice as well. So it's my turn. I think nobody wants to know pun, but boleh lah belanja. Okay, so for me, the song that makes me feel calm is Dancing Queen by ABBA. Okay.
Wow.
Are you guys ready? Okay,
Yeah,
jangan
I'm ready.
jangan
Yes.
nanti
I'm
later
ready.
kita
I'm
tengok
ready.
viewers dekat atas tu berkurang kan daripada 60 jadi 30.
No. I think they'll be dancing.
Yes.
Sekejap, I better search up the lyrics first lah. Takut silap kan, malu.
Alamak.
Dia bila nervous, I forget things. Dancing
Apa?
Queen.
It's okay.
Okay. Okay, I just sing the chorus, okay?
Let's go.
Okay. To the audience, please jangan screenshot or screen record lepas tu buat jadi meme ke apa. Okay, please lah. Okay, so 3, 4. You are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. Dancing queen, feel the beat from the tambourine. Oh yeah. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. Ooh, see that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen. So that's all.
Thank you, Paris.
I don't know
Yay!
if my mom is watching or not, but
She's proud of you.
I hope so lah. I hope so
She'll be so
lah.
proud of you.
Okay, my room from sejuk jadi panas tiba-tiba. Very nervous. Okay. I think later if anyone would want to listen to me sing again, maybe probably another 5 more years lah. Okay, that's the last time I'm singing live. Okay. Going on to our 8th question. Okay. So as we know, this is for Miss Ivy. Okay. So as we know, music therapy is well known in the global community. I think other countries have started this practice earlier than Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken. And I just wanted to know what was the scene of music therapy at the very beginning when it started in Malaysia. Can you give us a little bit of insight? Because it's really interesting to know how it all started. And yeah, can you give us a little bit of insight based on your experience? And how does it differentiate from other countries? Is it the same in Malaysia or is it different?
Yeah. Actually, right, I actually just learned this fact like few months ago that music therapy actually started like 20 over years ago in Malaysia. Can you believe it? Like, so when I first started, I was like, what? Like how did it happen? And apparently, like obviously 20 over years ago, I was like this small, right? I was still like drinking milk, so I wouldn't know like what was it like back then.
I think I wasn't even born yet at that time.
Yeah, exactly. So but thankfully I get to interview some of the pioneers, which I did for my podcast. So if you want to hear like the longer version of it, like feel free to check that out. And they were very graciously to share a bit more, like on how it all started. And it actually started with just very few people, Kargi and Preet. They were the pioneers for music therapy in Malaysia. They were practicing for like 20 over years already in Malaysia. Preet is currently in Sabah, and Kargi is still doing the great work in Klang Valley. And so when they first started, it was obviously like nobody heard of what music therapy is, and they were obviously had no like job opportunities, or like they had to do a lot of advocacy, a lot of workshops, a lot of talks, and back then the internet and everything, social media, like nothing lah, and so it was way harder for them to pioneer something new out of nothing. So I would say like with other countries as well, like I think it's all pretty much the same with like how we are constantly giving that awareness about music therapy in our respective countries. I think this is something that we all struggle like along the way, like how can we make the public to know more about music therapy and its effect and all of that. So I think even like bringing it back until now, like 2022, that our association actually formed. We're entering the 6th year already, and things are starting to progress, baby steps. Not as much as countries like the US, the UK, even Australia, and all of that, even Singapore. And but I guess it's all about celebrating little victories, and that we are actually have more and more music therapists graduated from overseas, coming back to Malaysia, and that we have more people wanting, like you guys, that wants to know more about music therapy and have the heart to educate the public too. So that means a lot to us, to MMTA. And so I guess that really just concludes, or even just shows that the progress that we have in Malaysia. Yeah.
Yeah, I think now with the presence of media, social media, new media, I think it's like easier, or like I wouldn't say easier lah, but the process, you can, like, you yourself, you're using TikToks right now to spread awareness and knowledge about music therapy. Okay, so if you any guys want to follow Ivy on her Instagram, it's at LifeTunes Music Therapy. Later on, we will give the link. Okay, and that's, I think, one of the best approach, because TikTok right now is so crazy. I mean, like, you do one thing, you become constantly active on TikTok. You do funny contents, you do educational contents, and sometimes if you do bad content, you could get famous as well. So I think with the emergence of new media, music therapy should actually skyrocket up into the sky, maybe in another few years, I believe so. And maybe can open the eyes of some other people out there to become music therapists. Okay. So I think the next question is for Miss Cody. All right. So Miss Cody, you yourself as a musician, singer, and out there in Malaysia, we have plenty of musicians. So do you think that Malaysia singer and musicians should learn and take up a little bit about music therapy? What do you think?
Yes, I totally agree on it because mental health and music therapy aligns together. And mental health is just as important as physical health. So it's really an interesting way to get to know yourself better. And you can never know what works for you now. You know, it could be music, it could be like going to the gym, it could be reading a book sometimes, just taking time for yourself. So there's no harm in trying something new. And Miss Ivy, I just want to ask you, like I saw 𝕄𝕊𝕊𝕋𝕁, she did like a live session on YouTube or what, and she brought in these singing bowls. Yeah. So do
Ah,
you use that? Do you actually use that for
yeah,
music
we
therapy?
actually don't really use singing bowls in music therapy. I
Mm.
believe, because I'm not too familiar with it, I believe that it's more for like sound therapy, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, see, the more we know, the more we learn every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, to be interesting to see like 𝕄𝕊𝕊, I guess she started using singing bowls on her live performances, and I think slowly but surely, more musicians, more singers are learning about music therapy and sound therapy as well. So it's very good.
Yes, and macam it's like two in one. You like what Ivy said just now. You love to sing, you love to perform, and at the same time, you can actually heal people. Inspire people, and I think that's amazing because you get to do what you love at the same time. You help other people. Okay, so moving back to a statement I made just now about the current stigma in Malaysia about music. Okay, I've seen on Twitter, on TikTok, you can get cancelled if you don't listen to what's in trend right now. So
Yeah.
personally, for me, I feel very attacked lah when I read one of the statements. Okay, it's not a viral tweet pun. It's like I just saw someone quoting it. I don't know from where, and it attacked me very much because I listen to a lot of genres. Okay, I don't have that specific one genre. So, what are your guys' point of views about this issue that is going on in Malaysia and maybe in other countries about the stigma of music that you should listen to, not based on your own taste and preferences? So what do you think, Miss Ivy?
Hmm. I think
Right?
you just live your life, man.
Yeah, I totally
I
agree.
guess I guess that the more that you care about what other people think of you, the more pressure that you put on yourself, and eventually it will cause something on your mental health in the long run, because that's not a really healthy thing to practice as well, that you are living up to a lot of people different expectations, opinions. So say if the person changes the statement of or like perspective about another thing, like, so are you gonna just like, oh, okay, I tukar lah tomorrow like this one, and then another one again and again. So I think, yeah, like long term, I don't think that's a really healthy thing to do. And yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. How about you, Miss Cody? What is your point of view terhadap ini
For
semua?
me, this cancel culture, we gotta stop it, Like, who made these rules? There's no rules in
Exactly.
music whatsoever. So I don't think we should pay attention to that. And yeah, like what Miss Ivy said, do what you do. Because like in the end it's you. You're putting yourself at that spot. You'll be listening to that music, not other people. And whatever makes you feel good, continue. Don't stop. Don't stop
Stop
the feeling.
believing.
But yeah, don't
Karaoke
stop
pula
doing
malam ni.
what you do. No, you shouldn't change for other people. Yeah,
I totally agree.
that's how I
Like
feel.
sometimes not in just in terms of what you listen to, but sometimes what you wear. Some people they like to be bold and try different things. So let people become themselves. Let people express themselves. As long as tak
Yeah.
kacau you or or tak harm you in any way ke apa, then you don't have any right to say no towards the person. Okay, so I think we are moving on to the Q&A sessions with our audience today. So there are a lot of questions
Nice.
coming up on the screen right now. Okay, so are you guys ready for the Q&A session, Miss Ivy and Miss Cody?
Yes. Bring it
Yes.
on.
I couldn't like focus because there's too much things going on in the chat box right now. So
Wow.
let's see our first question for today. Okay, from Nathalie Henry. Okay, I have a question to Miss Ivy. Did your family inspire you to become a music therapist? Did you know any music therapists before you became one?
um I think yes, I would say yes, that my family actually inspired me to become a music therapist, because what happened was that my late grandpa was suffering from shingles. When you have shingles, you have a lot of pain. And there's this one day he was having like so much pain, like you could see that he was just like moaning in pain, and like his facial effect just changes everything. And then I was like, there was I don't know what I can do. And I wasn't even in the major that time, and I was like, oh, but there was a piano beside it. So what I did was like, okay, why not, like just try going to the piano and play something. So as soon as I play, I realized that he wasn't moaning as much. He was slowly he was just like not in pain anymore. And slowly he was just like relaxed. So after a while I stopped playing, and then I asked him, like, oh, what happened? Do you feel better and everything? And he was like, yeah, what happened, that when you were playing, that the pain actually just slowly decreased and just left, and I was able to relax. So that actually got me thinking. I was like, wow, music actually not only is like a source of like entertainment, or like performing, or like when you think of music, like what you teach piano and that sort of thing, but it actually has a healing aspect to it. So I guess that incident actually really inspired me to become a music therapist, and which I did. So yeah.
And you became an amazing music therapist, Miss Ivy.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, just a quick question to add to your answer just now. What I
Yes.
think a lot of people are curious, like what is the process of becoming a music therapist? Like what do you have to take in university, what do you have to major, what do you have to minor. Would you mind sharing it with us?
Yes, absolutely. So in order to become a board certified music therapist, you need to either have a bachelor's degree or a master's in music therapy. So they have different criteria for different universities, colleges, and different countries. So for me, I was trained in the US. So I had my bachelor's degree in music therapy, minor in psychology, and then I graduated. I had to do an internship of like 1,200 clinical hours. After that, completed that, I had to go for a board exam, which after that you passed, and only you are a board certified music therapist. So there is a process, and I think a lot of people actually like asked me previously, like, is there a short course, like a 6-month course, to be to learn more about music therapy or even to be board certified? The answer is absolutely no. And if you come across that, don't go. That must be not the official one, and there
Mhm.
isn't any like short courses. So be very careful out there, because there are a lot of people claim to be like music therapists, or like claim to be offering music therapy courses but without a proper credential. So if you're looking for a music therapist, always go to our official website to see the credentials that the therapist has before going for therapy with them. Yeah, just to
Yes,
be safe.
I think it's people out there who want to become a music therapist, you like there is no short way to success. I believe and it's very dangerous, I think, as well, because when we become a therapist, we are sort of macam terlibat dengan minda orang, minda dan mental orang, and
Mm.
it's very dangerous thing to like play around with. Okay, so you have to like have proper education, proper practice, 1,200 hours, right? If I'm not mistaken, you said just
Yes.
now, of field practice, and it takes a very long time. Okay, just to make sure that when you help the person, you help them legitimately, not just what people say pala tahu je, main gitar, nyanyi orang tu sihat. Bukan macam tu. Not like that. All right, so let's see what is the next question. Okay. All right, so from Kami dan Seni Kibi. Okay, hi Kibi. Okay,
Hi,
question for Miss Kodi. As a musician slash artist, music surrounds you. Was there any time where you feel a bit sick from music, and do you ever seek other methods to escape from a bad funk?
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah. Sometimes in like music writing or songwriting, I'll have like what do you call it? Mental block, is it? Like
Yeah,
a
mental block.
writer's block or whatever. I just cannot write. But that day I'm like, what? Nothing's coming out. No melody, no lyrics, no tunes. I just want to like don't do it. I just don't want to do it. And how do I escape from that? Is just by not doing it. Some days if your mind doesn't want to do it, don't do it, because the next time you'll be 10 times better than that day. So yeah, I think taking a break from some things is good for you. And we should normalize taking breaks. We should normalize like, hi, I'm gonna take a nap for a while because I'm very tired today. It's fine. It's okay to take time
Yeah.
for yourself. So yeah, I feel like I take a break. It could be 1 day, 2 days, 1 week of not writing anything, but I know that I'll come back stronger and better, and I'll have more to express from whatever I felt before this. So thank you, KB. That was so nice to ask.
Yes, and to add, I think I totally agree that we need to take breaks sometimes. Like personally, for me
Mm-hmm.
myself, every afternoon I would have my power nap. I set my alarm for like 15 minutes, and it will become like 3 hours of sleep. So be careful, okay? So when you set your alarm, make sure it's like next to your telinga and then
I
it's
never
very loud.
know. Okay.
Uh,
But it's okay.
okay. But true, we have to take a break sometimes from whenever we feel like too burdened and too pressured from all the stuff that is going around us. Okay, so let's see the next question. Okay, from Zainab Ahmad. Question to Miss Ivy. What is the best and worst thing about being a music therapist?
Ooh.
Ooh, this one
Like,
is
yeah,
spicy.
is your boss watching on?
Good.
No, I'm just
No,
kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm my boss.
Oh yeah.
Good question. Very good question. Best thing. I'll start with the good one first, okay? I think the best thing would be like I shared earlier, like how rewarding is this, like this whole journey, get to be a part of other people's journey, their healing process, their recovery process, not only that person, but only also impacting the family as well. I think that is one of the best things about music therapists, that I get to use my skills, my expertise to help them in this journey to make a change. The bad thing, the worst thing. I think the worst thing would be, man, this is very hard to be very honest. But I think the worst thing is to constantly to bring the awareness, like because of like the lack of awareness for this profession, that it's almost like it's part of your job that you need to keep repeating what you do. And some people really do like, oh, do you just like sing and play for your clients, that kind of thing? Or I think also the bad thing about it is that in Malaysia, so per se, that we don't actually have like a position for music therapists. Like we need to create jobs for ourselves. So I think this is one of the things that you need to think about if you want to pursue this road to become a music therapist, that you need to work very hard. Like any other profession, you need to work very hard, but just that it's a harder road to
Yeah, it's quite
to make
niche,
a living.
right?
Sorry.
It's quite niche, right? Music therapy here.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed, especially like in Malaysia, I would say that it's really still quite a long way to go.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I see. So like, I think sometimes it might get annoying, right? And people ask the same questions over and over and over again. So that's why we have Music and Mind Connection Talk, everyone, to spread awareness
Yeah.
properly about music therapy once and for all to those who don't know about music therapy. Okay, and I just admire your dedication, Ivy, because like you said, it's not a job that is like properly introduced in Malaysia, right? And right now in these difficult times, jobs are like the number one main thing that people out there are looking for. And to have your dedication and passion towards music therapy is also a driving factor for me to like chase my dreams. Okay, regardless of the difficulties that I will face in my life. So everyone in the audience, kita boleh make Miss Ivy as our idola lah, as our idol.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, thank you.
that's just
Thank you.
amazing lah. Like I said, it's very difficult nowadays. So to do what you are doing right now, it's very inspiring. So kudos to you, Ivy. Keep on going.
Oh,
I
thank
will keep
you
on
so
supporting you.
much.
Okay. So Solace
Thank
team will
you.
keep on supporting you. All right. So let's move on to the next question. All right. From Kai Zinghua. Miss Ivy. I am a music student in Malaysia and interested in taking music therapy for my master's study. Can I be the volunteer from now?
Yeah, I think a lot of music therapists do take interns in Malaysia. So I think I started as intern as well, like when I was a student or before I actually even went into the major. I think that's like a very good opportunity for you to just learn on the spot and just observe, what this profession looks like hands-on. So absolutely, I can suggest that you would go to our association, mmta.org, Malaysian Music Therapy Association, official website, that whichever state that you are from, you just reach out to a local music therapist that to see if they are looking for an intern, and I'm sure that they would reach out and they'll have you.
All right. So good luck to the person just now. Okay. I hope that you can be a music therapist as well alongside Ivy. All right.
Yay.
So let's move on to the next question. Okay. What do you feel if someone said that your music helps them go through their tough times? Do you feel like it's a kind of achievement or something? I think this question is dedicated to Miss Cody.
Yes. How do I feel? I just want to share something really personal to me. And there was this one time where I was performing and I was singing, I forgot lah nama lagu tu, but it was a sad song lah. Then I
Mhm.
definitely was feeling it. But I could see that this one lady right in front of me, she had a tissue in her hand and a
Oh.
teardrop falling down. So wow, how I wanted, I was like, wow, I was shaking because like I can't believe that that happened to me, and I can't believe like I made her feel a certain way, like I touched her emotions in a way. So, yes, I agree. Music is very rewarding to me, especially during performing. And it personally makes me content. I'm so happy doing it. And I think from that moment on, the only niyat, the only thought I have in my mind when I hold the mic to sing is just to entertain people, just to, do this seikhlas hati. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's my sole reason of doing music.
That's amazing. So after the show, did you pergi tegur the lady or?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't want to bring out what she was crying. I didn't want to like, did she cry? I couldn't do that, but I was like, thank you so much for being here, for like spotting me and for enjoying your time. Hope you enjoyed your time. So yeah, those are the yeah. I really liked how she appreciated my music, and I feel like audiences out there, it's really important to know how to appreciate the performer. Like, honestly, if you're like playing your phone or like talking to your friends while there's a performer in front of you, it's not that nice. Yeah, but it's okay. But as an audience, I think we should always appreciate the performer or the artist because this is their livelihood. This is what they do. They're
Yeah.
here because of you, and you are here because of them. So that should be like a mutual understanding to just sit down and enjoy.
Yes, because like the journey that those singers and musicians have gone through to become where they are right now, it's not an easy journey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You don't become a singer, like a professional singer overnight. You have
Yeah,
to start from the very beginning and then
yeah.
slowly progress until like one day you can sell out like stadiums and arena tours. Like personally for
Mhm.
me, I have not went to a live concert before. Yeah, very sad, right? 20 years of living, have not be, went to a live
Okay.
concert.
There's always
So like
more and more
It's
shows.
okay.
I promise the first live concert I will go to, I will like mesmerize myself in the concert, like phone letak tepi, okay, tak payah campak kan, letak dalam poket, and then like really like focus on them, just vibe along with the artist, you know. So yeah, I totally agree, and I think your supporters and fans has also played a big part in your career. Is that right, Miss Cody?
Sorry, my
Your
supporters and friends.
Yeah, your supporters and fans.
Yeah, definitely. And my family too. So
Yeah.
all this support that we get online or live, it really matters a lot to the artist. Like sometimes people don't see that, like comments on YouTube or whatever, like, oh, sedapnya. Sometimes
Mhm.
you don't know how that makes me feel. I feel like, thank you, girl. So, like,
Yeah.
I actually truly appreciate it. And your comments, your positive comments or negative, whatever, it matters.
Mhm.
I take the negative and I make it positive. Like, oh, I'm going to make myself better after this. I'm not going to repeat myself. So, yeah.
I
Always
think
support your artists.
yes, and then regarding the negative comments, right? Regardless if it's from your supporters or anyone, I think we take the negative comments as a a stepping stone for us to like become better person, become a better singer, become a better musician. You know, sometimes their words might be very harsh. Okay,
Hmm.
to be very honest, it can
Tak
be
ada
very harsh.
lesen.
Tak ada lesen. Lagi-lagi orang kat Malaysia ni memang tiba sangat komen
Tiba.
macam tu.
Tapi tak apa.
Tapi tak apa. Orang kata buang yang keruh, ambil yang jernih.
Yes.
Alright. So let's move on to the next question. Next question, please. Okay, from Balkis. Do you guys use your music to express your feelings or unsaid words? So in that way, you can help others to express their feelings too. Okay, Miss Ivy, what do you think about this question?
Yeah. I think we actually do that a lot in music therapy sessions. So we call it music improvisation. So you can use words, or you don't have to use words at all. Usually we don't actually use words. We just let the music speak. So it could be a drum, it could be a instrument, or whatever that it feels comfortable for the person to, just express their deepest emotions that that probably cannot use words to express. And so I think absolutely, I really think that using music to express your emotions is a very healthy way for an emotional outlet. I think this is really helps with our own mental health as well in the long run, and how we need to have to know the ways of how to healthily letting out our emotions, because that if you're keeping in all the emotions, then there's this one day you just meletup, and that's not going to be good. And so music, meluahkan your perasaan, your feelings, your emotions through music is actually a very, very safe and healthy way. So absolutely 100%, and I love it.
Okay, like you said just now, music therapy does not only consist playing music and singing, right? So songwriting, how do you express your feelings through songwriting? Do you just write lyrics regarding your feelings, and then tahu-tahu siap satu lagu, or is that a proper process you have to do? I'm very curious. Mana tahu one day I would release my own song kan? Macam tiba, memang tak lah.
Right. I think one of the things that we always tell people that we're doing songwriting in music therapy, the first reaction they'll be like, I don't know how to write songs, or I cannot lah, ni susah lah, that kind of thing. But in music therapy, songwriting is just a tool to help us to process our emotions. So it could be as simple as just one word, or it could be as more of the work that's going to be done or guided by the music therapist. So if the person is more comfortable of with the music side of things, and they would do the music side of things, and the whole songwriting thing, it doesn't have to be filled with lyrics, but but it really depends on the level of that person. Some people might not be able to come up with so much lyrics, or that command of language, so per se. Some children, or developmental delayed individuals might have a harder time to do that. So it really depends on the individual's progress and levels to participate in a songwriting process guided by a music therapist. And this whole process is not, our goal is not to have the best sounding melody, the most catchy melody or anything, or your lyrics have to rhyme. No, it doesn't have to be perfect at all. It's the process that we are looking for. It's a process, of having you to just express yourself, and the process is therapeutic.
Yes, I understand. Just now you mentioned about treating patients who are children, right? How is that is the process the same as adults, or is it slightly more difficult because they're children? Have you experienced any music therapy with children?
Yeah. Actually, most of my time was actually working with children with life-threatening illness in the US. So these are the children with probably they are at their end of the life spectrum. So maybe they are given like just a few months to live, and these are the children who have like maybe like a lot of pain in their bodies and finding hard to express themselves, or even to help them to cope with this crisis they are going through. So we use music as a tool to help them to feel better emotionally, to process it, uh, to bond with the family, transition, all of that difficult stuff that we can actually do it in music therapy with them as a family as well. But I wouldn't say is as much difference, because I would say that every client, every session looks very different from person to person. So yeah. So I wouldn't say that, because it's children that is different from an adult, but more like this is an individual that is different with a different preference, different needs. So the session would look very different. Yeah.
I totally understand, because um, you might have to use a different approach, right, with children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
not just in terms of music therapy, but also in general, whether you're teaching them mathematics or anything, is just different with children than with adults. Okay, so
Yes.
let's move on to the next question. Okay, from Shafira. Okay, this is a question for Miss Cody. As a singer, how do you stay calm bila you nyanyi depan orang ramai atas pentas? I pun nak tahu sebenarnya. Tadi I nyanyi dekat live ni pun I dah nervous dah. Dah peluh-peluh dah.
Hi, hi
Ah.
Shafira. Thank you for the question. Wow. So, backstory about me, I started performing when I was like 12 years old, 11 years old. I was young, I was a kid. So I think all those years, it made me comfortable on stage. And how many years is that, lah? It's so long. It took me so long because stage fright. There's no cure to stage fright unless you're always doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to constantly like get up on stage, talk. Like sing, do your thing. But because I find joy performing, so like okay, obviously during the first song, panic gila, rasa macam alamak, buat ini apa ni. But like up to the second song, the last song, I'm already in my zone. There's no one can like get to me because I'm already there. I'm already at that space where I'm comfortable. So yeah, a huge tip would be just perform, always go for it. And it's okay if you make mistakes on stage. You'll learn from it, and that is the best part. Because I've made so many mistakes on stage, but last like, oh, I'm so sorry, but it's okay. Just continue on because that is part of performing. And yeah, thank you for that question.
I would love to one day experience like nyanyi on stage kan, but you don't know, cik. We don't know about when how do I say this? To Miss Cody, how do you like control the crowd? Like, do you like, the crowd? How do you get them to like vibe with you as well?
Wow, how do I control a crowd?
Mm.
Honestly, is by choices of songs that you sing. And honestly, the person that comes to your show would already be interested in your songs and your voice. So they would already appreciate you. You know what I mean? So to get their attention, their 100% eyes and ears on you is definitely by just being yourself on stage. There's no other, if you fake it, orang boleh nampak.
Betul.
Like if it's not truth, if it's not honest, like you can see it and you'll be like, wow. You question, people start questioning you, but once you're honest, you look comfortable on stage, you know what you're doing. And I think that attracts people. Your honesty. And yeah, that is my answer to your question.
Okay, so I'm taking notes right now. Okay, be
Wah.
honest. Okay, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Confident
All right,
je
we're
jadi
waiting
penyanyi.
for your debut.
Oh my
Yep,
god.
we're ready.
One day, cik. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, from Solace Putri, Miss Ivy, can you explain to us how does the process of procedure of doing the music therapy?
Yeah. Wow, this is a good question. Um, let's see. I think rather than okay. So I think the first and foremost, like I think I previously mentioned a little bit about just having an assessment, knowing the client's needs, knowing what they actually want to work on with music therapy, right? So having a plan, making a master plan, and that having to put that plan into practice, knowing what um, preferences they prefer, what styles they like, or even what they don't like. What is their medical history? What are their triggers? These are some of the things that you need to know and put into mind before planning a session or even executing a session. So, for example, um, let's say I'm working with a patient with depression, right? And this patient is having a hard time to just process his emotions. So he's referred to music therapy. He wants to try music therapy. So of course, maybe a music therapy session for him would probably look like, songwriting. How can we, just using a fun, something non-invasive way for him to safely, creatively motivate him to just express himself. Are there any triggers? What is the root cause of that? Are there, just different aspects of it that we can discuss during the session to know more about it. And so we could actually give different scenarios, like how do you feel, when this thing happened? you know shall we write, put that into paper and try to actually sing it out or process it, musically. And some of it actually is trauma, or some of it is actually grief, and people actually, it's hard for them to just accept, or even to how to say, like, verbalize it, verbalize the trauma, verbalize their pain, verbalize their thing. So the process of that is actually very, very helpful. That music is like non-judgmental, it provides a really safe space. So we could definitely do that. And we can also do like a breathing exercise with them, like helping them to know, like in what circumstances, like let's say if they have a panic attack, like what are some of the tools that they can use for themselves, that they can learn to do at home themselves, that what should these circumstances arise. So in music therapy, it really depends on very individual specific needs, and we will cater to that. So I guess it's really hard for me to just like pinpoint like how I run my sessions, because every client, every session would look very different. But I would say that, like I would try my best to not only help my client to feel better, but also to empower them with skills and tools to know how to take care of yourself, even when you're not in therapy with me, if that makes sense. Yeah.
How long does one session usually goes for? Or like it still depends on the patient.
Yeah. So like let's say a autistic kid, right? probably their attention span wouldn't have be able to stand like 1 hour. So maybe like 30 minutes would be sufficient for them. But for an adult, like anxiety, depression, or like mental health stuff, like it could go up to like from 45 minutes to an hour. That would be like a general time frame for it.
I see. So do you think that time frame is like enough for like one session? Your personal opinion lah, on the time frame. Like, do you think you need more time with the patient, or sometimes macam orang kata, if it's like too much session or too much time, their attention span will like run away, will go away. So like, you get the attention for like the first few 30 minutes, and after that you don't have the attention. So it's like membazir lah the last part tu. So what's your opinion?
Yeah, so I think generally speaking, 45 minutes is a good place to start with, and then you can just trial and error to see, how this person takes it. And if it benefits them with a longer session, then by all means, just go for it. But, through a session, maybe that person has had a very long day, and it's hard, they are like tired, takkan you force them, to like, no, come on, like, so it's better for them to, like, okay, let's have a shorter session, and you go home and rest, that kind of thing. So yeah, it boils down to that person's situation, their level that day as well.
Yeah, I see. Because like you said, we have to look at the person as well. Maybe dorang tak tahan sessions yang lama-lama. So like
Yeah.
30 minutes should be good for them, as long as what you are trying to share with the patient sampai kepada dorang. Macam tu. Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you, Miss Ivy, for answering the procedure. I think a lot of us are curious, okay, because music therapy is new and relatively speaking, so different from normal therapy. So like we wanted to know the process as well. So thank you for sharing. Okay,
No problem.
moving on to the next question. Okay, we'll have a few more questions before we wrap everything up. Okay, from Hadirah, what do you guys think about entertainers that create music without meaningful lyrics and focusing on the melody itself? Okay, I think this question is suitable for Miss Cody. What is your personal opinion about this?
There's a lot of genres in the world. There's like scat singing. Sometimes, they don't specifically have lyrics, but the melody speaks to you in a way. And I think it's truly an art form by itself, Honestly, you don't need words to feel such a way, like classical music, for instance. Back in those days, it's an orchestra, it's a full-on orchestra with sometimes they don't have an opera singer. So you fully take in the full experience by just listening to the melody, and it's massive. There are times where it's like, oh, so quiet, and then, oh, it becomes loud, it becomes big, and you feel this, you feel it, but there's no words. So it's special, and I feel like we should create more, songs. Like you can sing a melody like, and like apa nama lagu tu ah? There's this new song. I forgot, but the chorus was just like,
Jap.
it's like a new song,
I
and
think,
that is the chorus. Hello, like there's no words. So I was like, wow. And everybody, I don't know about you guys, but like I think some of the viewers, I bet you know that song. And
if
there's no
you know that
lyrics.
song, boleh type kat komen, okay? Because I know that melody, but I forgot the name of the song. I think I listened to it banyak kali on TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok.
So that song, for instance, is new, it's fresh, it doesn't have lyrics, and I think it's not English, it's not an English song. So see, everywhere around the world, there are so many types of music,
Ni,
so many types of
nama
ways to
dia,
express.
nama dia Love by 𝑁𝕆𝕊𝕆𝕆.
Yeah. Yes. So go search up, because the chorus is basically
Humming.
it's humming. And like,
wow.
and there's so many challenges on TikTok where orang Malaysia, orang Indonesia bring up their certain style, because we have nyanyian masing-masing, lah kan, nyanyian tradisional masing-masing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like singing in melody, scat singing or whatever, improv. It's normal actually. Yeah, it's everybody. It's around the world. It's universal language.
Yes, I agree. Like macam based on the question just now, if we listen to K-pop, we don't even know if the lyrics are meaningful or not, because we don't even know what it means in the first place. But by listening to the melody, we know, okay, this is a song about this is a very sad song, or this is a very happy, energetic songs. So I think this is my personal opinion. In today's day and age, I think lyrics are not, you know, lyrics can be used as a form of expressing their feelings, and also the melody as well. You know, we can choose either one, and either way, as long as the melody can get to you, as long as the lyrics can get to you, and you can feel it and you can relate to it, I think that's really amazing lah. Okay,
Mhm.
so I think
Yeah.
we're going to have one last question. Okay, so what will be the last question and from whom?
Ding ding ding.
Okay, from Kibi. Kibi malam ni betul-betul aktif lah Kibi. I tengok
Wow,
banyak you komen.
Kibi. Nah.
Memang respect Kibi. Okay, question for Miss Ivy. Do you yourself feel a sort of pressure knowing that your career is to heal people? Do you ever wonder that there's a part of yourself that is still yet to be healed too? Wow.
Ooh,
Ooh.
such a deep question.
Deep.
Spicy, Kibi.
Kibi.
I think wow, very deep, Kibi. I think as human beings, I don't think there will be anyone that's like 100% perfect, or like healed or whole, so per se, because we all go through trauma, we all go through stuff in life. And so I think as a music therapist that it is my responsibility. I feel that I need to be as emotionally healthy as possible before I can help other people. That is one thing that I really believe in. And that, like, how in airplanes, right? That they say that, put on an oxygen mask yourself first before you help other people. I think that really speaks a lot as well. Like, before you help other people, you need to be emotionally healthy. You need to be a healthy person before you help them, because things would just float up, things would just be triggered if you're not in that healing process yourself. So I think that while I wouldn't say I'm like anyone could ever be like 100%, like perfect, healthy person. I don't think that is achievable, but I think there is a process, like if you are walking towards that direction of like being emotionally healthy and whole, and I feel like there will be a place where you think like, okay, I think I'm ready to, like pour out to people. You cannot pour out to people from an empty cup. So that's what I feel as a therapist. And even if you're a caregiver or, as a friend or anything like that, you need to take care of yourself, get yourself healthy, filled, before you actually can take care of others effectively. If not, you just be burned out.
Yes. Wow. I was like so focused on what you are saying, and it's a really eye opener for me as well, because like you have a lot of
It's a tough job.
positivity. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a lot of positivity in yourself, and you share it with others. Like you said just now, you cannot pour a cup if it's empty, and you are definitely not an empty cup. You are filled with positivity, energy, happiness, and you share it to other people. The same as with Cody as well. You have your vision that you want to show to the world. You have your passion, which is music. You have your melodies that you want to share with the world, and you share it with the world. And I think that's why our panels today is very, very amazing, because with their passion, with what they have inside of them, and just sharing it to this society, we need people like you guys in in our world, just to not just to help other people, but to inspire other people as well. So I'm like really inspired. Like, okay, probably right now I don't have like anything in me just yet. So like I will work on myself in the future and try to learn a lot of things and help the society in terms of anything that I could help them. Okay. So with that, I think that marks the end of our question and answer session. So thank you so much to our audience for asking these questions, which are very beneficial and very interesting. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this Q&A session. Okay, before we end today, I would like to ask Miss Ivy and Miss Cody to give their final words and their hopes about music therapy in Malaysia. So let's start with Miss Ivy first.
Ooh, hopes for music therapy in Malaysia. I think I see great potential. I have a lot. I'm very hopeful for the future of music therapy in Malaysia, and I feel like besides hoping, for a continuous, awareness in this country, I really hope that, if it's possible in the next 10 years that we're able to make music therapy a more accessible therapy, really available in hospitals, facilities, for the people of Malaysia to benefit from. And I also hope that with different policies and fundings and even support from the Malaysian government, that music therapy will be affordable and available for everyone, and not only for the ones who are able to pay for it, but for everyone that has a need, that music therapy is able to step in and fulfill that need. So I would love to see that happen, and yeah, that's my hope.
Yes, that's amazing. I really do believe that one day music therapy can be like a norm in Malaysia. Like everyone knows about music therapy. Like you go everywhere, oh ni music therapy. Macam tu. Okay, so for Miss Cody, any last words to our audience and about any your hope for music therapy in Malaysia?
Same goes to me. I totally agree on what you and Miss Ivy said. And I really hope that it's talked about more, that it'll become more recognized for its benefits, and it will just help reach a bigger audience. And I know that healing takes a long time. And I'm so happy that, we could have this session to share about, what is healing? What is music therapy? And I hope that viewers here learned a lot, because this is actually a very good way to put this in our lifestyle, to adapt music in our lifestyle for our mental health. And yeah, thank you so much. I really enjoyed my time today.
Thank you, thank you. The honor is all ours. Okay, so before we end, I would like to again thanks Miss Ivy and also Miss Cody for joining our event today. Okay, and this has been one of the most exciting talks that I have ever moderated. Okay, because I can really feel the vibe, and we are all on the same page, and we all just want to talk about music therapy and how music is good for our mind and body and wellness. Okay, so thank you so much. All of your answers are very eye-opening, very inspirational. So thank you again. Okay, so I really okay. So to anyone who want to learn more about music therapy, you may give Malaysian Music Therapy Association and Life Tunes Music Therapy a follow on Instagram. Okay, the link has been provided in the description box below. So like I said just now, they provide us with podcasts, blogs, funny postings. Ivy here one day will become a TikTok superstar. Trust me.
Oh my gosh.
Trust me. Okay, her content is so funny and educational at the same time. So look out for more content, okay? And share it with your friends as well. Okay, and not to forget, Miss Cody, her Instagram has been linked down below as well in the description box. So if you guys nak tengok dia punya covers, menyanyi lagu, and mana tahu future update ataupun ada lagu-lagu baru nak keluar, you guys may give her a follow on Instagram. Okay. So apart from that, don't forget to fill in the feedback form as well. Okay, we have provided a feedback form down below to anyone who want to give feedbacks about this event to make sure that in the next events that we do, it'll be improved and it'll become better. Okay, and also promote sikit. This Saturday, we will be having our candle therapist workshop to spread awareness about aromatherapy. So if you want to join this, the registration form is also in the description box down below. Semua benda dekat description box. So you guys boleh tekan saja dekat situ. Okay, so that is in conclusion lah. I give a conclusion. Music therapy really can help people find peace and also for self-healing. Alright, I hope this sharing session will open the audience's eyes about how music really can help you in our daily lives. And I wish the best for our panels today, Miss Ivy Tan and Miss Cody. I really wish you the best in your future career, in whatever you do. Me and my Solace team will always 100% support you, okay? Because today you have given us one of the best talks, I think. Okay, for me personally, I learned a lot. The audiences learned a lot, and I think my friends also will replay this live over and over again. Okay, this has been a very insightful talk, full of knowledges, full of awareness. So thank you from the bottom of our heart, which is our Solace team. We really appreciate your time and effort today. So maybe one day we can meet each other and make a live event. Who knows? Okay, so thank you, and thank you so much. Okay, so to all the audience, thank you for coming here today. To all the lecturers, we really appreciate your time, your effort. Okay, for making Music and Mind Connection Talk successful. All right, so that is all from me. Thank you, everyone. Bye and Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.